I'm surprised you like it.
What? This is really good.
Yeah, I'm surprised you like it.
Why?
I never quite pictured you to be a genge kind of a person.
Oh, genge is okay. Who did you say this is again?
I never did. He's Genge X.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, well, his music isn't doing that well with the local. But it's rather doing well with the coastal people.
It's interesting. Why?
Well, they seem to like his coastal feel, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't think so.
I'm the producer, I know.
And I'm the listener, and you could be wrong. Well, anyway, good music. So let's get on to it. Why are you here?
There's a criminal case against me. Genge X has reported and accused me of music piracy.
It's wrong for you to sneak up on people like that.
It's part of my job.
Baby Eyes, that's what he's popularly known as. He's the founder of that Baby Eyes music studio.
His real names are George Gitu.
How did
I know? He was here to see you this morning. And it's obvious you believe he's guilty, but you'd like me to either confirm or disprove it. But since we're having this conversation, you believe he's guilty.
I forgot. You make it your business to know everything.
What is he accused of?
Music piracy. Piracy. Genge X. Music. The album is called what? The Sweet Berries. Yeah. And if he's found guilty, he'll be the first music producer on this side of the world to be given jail time.
Okay. Incidentally, I've reviewed my rates.
To what now?
And your clock has been running for the last 35 minutes.
But you've been here a minute only.
I factor in traveling time.
How do we even tolerate you?
Because I'm the best at what I do. Incidentally, Tokari is a very beautiful girl.
Whatever.
Halafu, I advised Mwako, there's no need to fire this young girl. Kwanza familia yake ni shida tu. And imagine, alinisikiliza.
Really?
Kabisa. Instead ya kumfuta kazi, Mwako reduced the benefits of Joe and Elsie. And up to now, they don't know it was me behind that.
You don't say.
Even you, if you want a raise, I'm a promotion.
Ambrose, just go away.
Go away?
Yeah, leave me alone. Private. Joe said to... Elsie? Yeah, the PA is on his way to your office.
Who does that man think he is? Kwa nini nani? Private eye? Nonsense. Ni kazi gani upelelezi anaweza yule? Safadhali mpate mimi kazi hiyo.
Ambrose, jipe shughuli.
Don't tell me what to do.
Sawa.
So, what are you doing here?
Wewe, get out. This is not your house or office. Entering like the boss.
Nini?
Huyu ana tabia mbaya sana ma. He must respect this office. Hapa si chooni.
Ambrose, everything is fine. Just calm down.
Hapana, huyu mtu ana tabia mbaya sana. What is he doing here? Ana madharau kweli.
Ambrose, that is enough. You can leave now.
I have to tell Mr. Mwako. Nitamwambia Mr. Mwako, this nonsense must stop.
Please leave. Do you always cause such a stir wherever you go?
Let him talk and cool down. He doesn't bother me.
Well, Joe says that you meet him in the courthouse.
I know. But that's not why I'm here.
Indulge me.
The complainant is ready to drop the charges. As long as your client admits he's guilty and pays for the music he pirated, and all this goes away.
Come on, Michael. 800,000 shillings is too much. And anyway, why is he admitting to be guilty?
We all know he's guilty. And the money will be the amount of money he would have made if his music was sold in the proper channels.
Show me a musician, a young Kenyan musician, who sells 800,000 shillings worth of record sales. Just name for me one, just one. None.
800,000 is a very...
No.
800,000 is a fair and affordable price for your boy's freedom.
But Baby Eyes did not copy those CDs.
Then why are you talking to me? Unless we all know he's guilty.
Are you getting a cut from that 800,000 shillings? How much did he offer you? 30%? 40%?
In fact, the price just went up. 900,000 or your ice baby melts in jail.
You have nothing to prove that he actually copied that CD or committed piracy.
You have 30 seconds. Confer with your client. Genge X is ready to drop the charges when we have 900,000 on the table.
All rise. The Republic versus Baby Ice.
"99% of Kenyans are unaware that music piracy is any form of unauthorized duplication or distribution, including downloading, file sharing, and CD burning. It is stealing. Pirating music is theft. Majority of us, in fact, most of us would not even consider stealing anything. Our sense of right and wrong keeps us from doing anything that is antisocial. Yet, when it comes to stealing digital recordings of copyrighted music, we seem to think that the same rules don't apply. Contrary to popular opinion, stealing, illegally downloading, or copying copyrighted music is stealing. There is no difference. No difference at all. In this case, Genge X's copyrighted music was stolen by his said producer. His first album, The Sweet Berries, was counterfeited to Genge X. His copyrighted CD has not been sold. but the counterfeit one has. By the sale of this, by stealing this, Baby Ice has gone against the law. He has betrayed the songwriters, the recording artist who created this, Genge X. He has stifled the career of this young man, new up-and-coming artist, very potential. By stealing this, he has threatened the livelihood of thousands of people, from recording engineers to retailers and their staff, people who are employed in this industry and rely on the proper sale of this album to earn a livelihood. It's a chain reaction. Let's help save these lives.
Well spoken, Michael Zo. Music piracy is a pandemic. It has and still is destroying music worldwide. Any form of unauthorized duplication and/or distribution, especially with the aim of financial gain, is outright wrong, period. And there's no way of arguing against that. What I am against is my client being used as an example by giving education to the public while we are toying with the freedom of an innocent man here. The stakes of this awareness are very high, and it involves sending this young man, innocent man, to prison, not for 2 months or 3 months, but for the full jail term of a year or more. There was a misunderstanding between the artist and the producer, which to me I do understand totally. But how the CDs got onto the streets can be anybody's guess. And I leave that to the boys in blue to uncover. In the meantime, are we going to send this young innocent man to jail for a crime he never committed, that was probably propagated by hundreds of other persons? I mean, everyone who actually made a copy of that CD should be here at this precise moment and be able to answer to the charges. Everyone who boomed Genge X's music without the copyright CD should actually be accountable to piracy. Are they here? I don't see them. This was just a business negotiation that went totally wrong, with Genge X here trying to use the law as the avenging angel. Nothing else.
Your Honor, the law is the avenging angel. It cannot act as the avenging angel. The Republic calls the investigating officer, Rosie Otto.
As to what we have done to curb that crime, actually not much. Reason being, we rely on the public for information and reports, and we hardly ever receive any complaints on the matter.
But Genge X reported that his music was being pirated, right?
Yes, he reported to our station on the 4th of March. And it was a good thing that he had a suspect in mind, so we had a starting point for our investigations.
Who was the suspect?
His producer, BBI's.
Did your investigations confirm that he was the source of the counterfeit CDs?
Yes, it did.
Officer, let's back up a little and tell this court the nature of the facts of Genge X's complaint?
Well, he reported that on the previous weekend, which was the weekend of the 26th of February, he was at a beach party, curtain raising. As he was prepping for his performance, he came across some youth with some of his CDs which were not his copyright original work. So he questioned the boys and they referred him to the store where they got the CDs from, and that is what he gave us and the name of the suspect producer.
And I'm assuming you investigated both the store owner and the producer?
Yes, we visited the store. It's called Locals Are Us, and the manager confirmed that he purchased the CDs from Baby Ice's studio.
Was the Locals Are Us management aware that they were dealing with the counterfeit CDs?
No. As far as they were concerned, the music was published and sold legitimately. So it was from then that we focused on Baby Ice and performed a search on his production house and home, where we found several copies of the pirated Genge X CD album, The Sweet Berries. With that evidence at hand, we charged him for music piracy.
Are these the counterfeit CDs you found?
Yes, all 44 of them.
Did you also find an original copyright CD?
No, we didn't.
So how did you confirm that he was copying and distributing?
Because his computer had the tracks in it. In fact, during the raid, there was a CD being copied in his computer.
And these are some of the CDs you found being copied at Baby Ice's production house?
Yes, they are.
Your Honor, I'd like to submit these counterfeit CDs as evidence.
Accepted.
How about this, officer?
Now this is the laptop that had the tracks that were being copied into a CD. If you look under the file, music, there is a folder labeled Genge X, The Sweet Berries. In there you will find the entire album.
Thank you. Your Honor?
You may submit that too.
Now, officer, would you say, without a doubt, that Baby Ice is guilty of unauthorized duplication and unlawful distribution of copyright music?
He is guilty as charged.
Thank you. Nothing further.
Baby Ice is the music producer.
Yes.
And in fact, he produced Genge X's CD, right?
Yes.
Then what crime was there in him having Genge X's music in his computer? And in fact, they worked for quite a number of months together, particularly for that album.
We found the tracks being copied.
So Baby Ice, being the producer, did he commit any crime in making copies of the CD?
Making unauthorized copies by itself is pirating.
But he had the right to do so. Maybe he did that so that he can make promotional campaign. Maybe he could be listening in the car as he was driving around looking for potential buyers. Doesn't he have a right to do so?
Apart from the CD that we found being copied in his computer, there was a box full of other counterfeit versions.
Oh, that. And where was this box found?
In one of the rooms in the house.
Ah, it was found in the storage area, where you found the boxes and other unused equipment, CDs, box files. Am I right?
Yes.
And what makes you so sure that these CDs were actually meant for sale?
Because they were the same as those that we found on the streets.
Then what makes you so sure that the CDs that were found on the streets were actually circulated by my client, Baby Ice?
No, we found a store that sold the counterfeit CDs, and they referred us to Baby Ice.
Oh, the Locals Are Us store that was found with pirated music CDs. You know, one thing that is bothering me about this scenario is that you found the store that was selling this pirated music, but you failed to arrest the persons involved. All you did is go after the person that you were referred to. Now, did you have a strong link or a connection or a proof of the sale of the CD between Baby Ice and local Zaras?
No.
All you had was the word from the manager telling you that the CDs were purchased from Baby Eyes, but there was no proof to support the transaction. Am I right?
Yes.
So basically, you do not have any proof to support your charges.
We found the CDs.
They could have been placed there because there was no proof of sale of the CDs to connect to my client.
We also discovered...
That's all.
We also discovered the...
That's all, Officer Yoto. Thank you. Your Honor, I'm done with this witness.
How about dinner?
How about you get out of here?
Is that an order?
Take it as you wish. I just know you're wasting my time as well as yours.
Let me see. You are currently not dating anyone. You tend to move from bad to worse relationships throughout your life. All the men you've ever dated turned out to be losers. You have had 2 almost meaningful relationships. The latter was with a wealthy man who turned out to be a drug dealer. Well, he broke your heart and left you pregnant. That was all of 8 years ago. You tend to date men on a need-to basis. Get out of the relationship before it becomes too serious. I admire that, you know. It's a trait that many people aspire to throughout their lives.
Are you done?
Not really. The only meaningful relationship you've ever had with a male was with your father.
I have work to do. And Ambrose is right. You are one arrogant, know-it-all bastard.
I'll see you later.
I don't know how Mwako tolerates you.
I'm good at what I do.
Tim Ruby, or can I call you Genge X?
Yeah. In the light of circumstance, Genge X is more appropriate. This case is about the artist in me, who is being destroyed.
Pole sana.
Asante.
Sweet Berries is your first album, am I correct?
Yes.
How did you and Baby Eyes get into business?
Well, I was performing in a club in East London. He was there. I was told by the bouncers in the club that there is a producer in the house. I was introduced to him. He said he liked my music and we could do business together. Since I was looking for a good producer, I jumped at the chance. First, we recorded a single, which was a hit. That's how people started knowing Genge X. You know, I became a local celeb. Then we did the second single. Hiyo pia ilibamba mbaya.
Was it after the second single that you decided to do an album?
Yeah, I had a lot of ideas, and my music was doing good too. So everyone, including Baby Ice, was telling me to release an album. I worked on it and released it.
The Sweet Berries?
Yes. Ndio hiyo. Mahewa poa sana.
How many tracks are there on this disc?
8 tracks. For 3 months, not even a single of my album was sold. That's what Baby Ice told me. I asked what's up. He said the timing for my album was not right. He even lied of some meetings with managers in music stores in Uganda and Tanzania. Apparently, the market there is more receptive to buying albums than here in Kenya. I was cool. I trusted the dude too. You know, do the right thing.
And all this while, your singles were still very popular.
Yeah, they were.
When did you discover that your music was being pirated?
Well, there was a beach party in Malindi. I was called to curtain raise for Egyptian, which, by the way, was an honor. I felt my career was headed places. Of course, I had to get down early, test the stage, test the equipment, and make sure everything is all right. Yeah, that was the serious stuff. On my way to the beach party site, I met some guys in a car chewing veve. You know what veve is, right?
Not quite sure I do.
Mira, cut, all right?
All right.
So these guys were cheering and blasting my song. Ain't Nothing But Blizzard. Man, I was shocked. I stepped onto the brakes instantly and went check this out.
Why were you shocked that they were playing Ain't Nothing But the Blizzard?
Because this was the last song in my album, and the only way to get it was if you bought my album. So I went to check this out to introduce myself as the artist and autograph the CD for them.
Which you did?
Yeah. They were very thrilled, very, to meet me. Hata tuligoteana mara mob sana. But when they gave me the CD to autograph, I was double, triple shocked. The CD was not original. It was fake. I asked them where they got it from. They told me local are us. I immediately called Baby Ice to inform me, but he immediately switched off his phone. So after the beach party concert, I came back to Nairobi and went to his studio. The guy had moved out. I asked around. No one knew where he had gone to. That's when I suspected that there was something fishy going on and reported the matter to the police.
And of course the police carried out a thorough investigation.
Yeah, the guy had moved to Malindi to hide there. There were some other artists who were telling me that they had been played but didn't have any proof.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Genge X, and good luck in having your album sold through the proper channels.
Thanks. I appreciate. Gotabasi.
You say you suspected that Baby X was pirating your music.
Yes.
Why? You both successfully worked on 2 singles, right?
Yes.
You actually became a celebrity in no time from the release of your single.
But I didn't get any money from the release.
Which artist, same as you, who has made money from their first single? Just name for me one who has made money from their first single.
Nameless makes money. Red Sun makes money.
Yes, I do agree that. But the question here, however, is, which of them has made money from their first single or their second? I mean, it goes without saying, the trend in this country is that the first single dents the pockets of the artist and the producer absorbs the impact of that loss. Now, Genge X, did Baby Ice charge you for recording in his music studio?
That's his job.
Answer the question.
No.
Did Baby Ice charge you for using his equipment to record your music video?
What's all this?
Did he or did he not?
No. But the deal was he will get his cut from the sales of the singles and the album.
But they didn't. The producer absorbed the impact of that loss, thinking that the artist he signed up in his label will pay him through his music sales someday, somehow. But is this how you're going to repay the person who made you a celebrity? Without even spending a dime?
But he pirated my music.
Can you prove it?
But who else?
Can you prove it? I mean, you could be behind all this for all we know.
Impossible.
Very possible. Scenario 1. You give a copy of the CD to a friend of yours who then goes and makes another copy and gives it to a friend, like that, all next to the friend. then for all we know, it's out on the streets, already counterfeited and being sold. Do you want to hear scenario 2? Do you? I didn't think so. That's all, Your Honor. For how long have you been a music producer?
For years. Well, about 5 years.
Has it been profitable?
Quite contrary. In fact, I've been seriously thinking of changing career altogether because of how bad things have been.
How bad is bad?
Well, for starters, the level of music piracy in this country is too high. It's really hard for a producer to make money in record sales. And secondly, the artist always has huge expectations on their career. One-hit wonders, I say. They fail to cultivate their talent to prepare themselves for the big earning. And because of these huge expectations and unrealistic demands, they always conflict with the producer. In fact, I'm yet to see one musician in Kenya who stayed 5 years with a producer.
Let's come closer to home. In regards to Genge X, what can you say about him?
Genge X. Genge X is a promising, upcoming musician. I thought so the very first time I saw him, and that's why I took him up. Despite him being so broke and unable to pay for his record deals, I took up the responsibility. We worked on a couple of songs and they were good. Those 2 songs are what made Genge X who he is today. And we figured since it was a success in those 2 hits, why not venture into an album?
And by successful, you mean that there was good money that came in?
No, by success I mean there were hits. No good money though. Although Genge X did make a lot of money in his live performances, which I wasn't party to.
You made Genge X famous. You used your own resources to make the album, and you made it a hit. But when it came to money made from the live performances from Genge X, you got nothing.
Absolutely. I got nothing, bro.
From the recording of the album Ain't Nothing But the Blizzo, there wasn't a renegotiation of the contract?
No.
Meaning the sales of the album, if they were successful, you would have actually made money from the sale of that album, but not from the live performances from Genge X.
Yes, that was the idea.
Seems that you are really ripped off.
Exactly. That's what caused the rift in the first place. I simply demanded my share of the investment, you know? A good return of my investment. From the time the 2 songs were released until the time the album was made. I also demanded a cut from the live performances since it was I who labored for him and made him who he is today. And well, when this disagreement was brewing, we had just finished recording the song, The Berries. And since there was no agreement, I decided not to sell his album and he walked out of the contract. What happened to the album? What happened to the CDs of the copies we were doing in my studio? I have no idea. All I know is a few months later, I'm being accused of pirating his music. After all the slaving I did for that boy, he lodges a spear at my back. It's people like him that make me want to quit the music business.
Right. What about the boxes full of CDs found in your storage?
Well, those were from the time we were working together. Since he split, I saw no reason to have them, so I kept them there.
So you have no idea how that CD got on the streets as a counterfeit?
Nope. Best bet is he did it himself. Somehow. Somewhere. Somehow. Somewhat. Yes.
Somehow, somewhat, somewhere, someone pirated Genge X music. And that someone is standing right in front of me now.
That's not true. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know the owner of local Zaraz music shops?
I have no idea.
Objection, Your Honor.
What for?
Relevance.
If he answered my question, then we would know the relevance.
Answer the question.
Who is or who are the owners of Locals Are Us?
I have no idea.
Of course you do. The owner of Locals Are Us is a Mr. George Gitu. Are you George Gitu?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Answer my question. Are you George Gitu or not?
I am Baby Ice, formerly known as George Gitu.
Your Honor.
Can you please answer the question and stop fooling around?
Yes, I am George Gitu.
Good. Do you recognize this registration certificate? Under whose name is the company Locals Are Us registered?
George Gitu.
Good. Let's go on. Blue Cool Productions. Ring a bell?
Your Honor, my client is...
Answer the question. Baby, George, is it Gitu? Answer the question.
Well, I would if I knew the answer.
Blue Cool, Mountaintop, Massive Hits, and Silver Lining are production companies incorporated under Gitu here. These companies have been ripping artists off for years. When he's come close to being discovered, he has changed his operations and companies. Is that right, George Gitu? Or is it Baby Eyes?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. How convenient. Your Honor.
The documents are accepted. You may step down.
I thought you could mess up with Gang X and get away with it. No one messes with Gang.
Your Honor?
Do you have another witness?
No, I was just...
Okay. I will render the verdict today at 2:30 p.m. Court is adjourned.
Thank goodness you're here.
I hope we haven't missed anything, have we?
I'd like to know what my chances look like.
Not good.
You think this is a joke? My future is at stake and you don't give a damn.
If your future was that important, you should have been honest with me from the very first beginning.
Oh, I get it. Ever since you've discovered I have other companies, you've thrown my case to the pigs.
Pigs also like to roll in dirt.
What's that supposed to mean?
All rise. In the matter of Team Ruby versus George Gitu on count of music piracy. Music piracy is a crime many Kenyans commit, mostly because people know that even if they were discovered, nothing was done about it. It is this kind of attitude that has led to piracy being the order of the day. It is a crime. It steals from the industry, it steals from the producers, it steals from the artists, it steals from store owners. The list is endless. Now, it is time Kenyans built awareness on this by supporting their own artists and music, by purchasing the music, copyright music, instead of pirating it. Judge Gitu, I find you guilty of making for sale and or hire infringing copies of the album The Sweet Berries by the musician popularly known as Genge X. This court sentences you to 3 years in jail, and you should also be liable for a fine of 200,000 shillings. And I hope that this will serve as a deterrent to like-minded people. Court adjourned.
All rise.
Thanks, man. This is the best thing that has happened to me since I discovered my music was being pirated.
My pleasure.
So, when can I sue him for the damages?
I'm a state prosecutor. You'll have to find yourself a civil attorney.
All right.
Should have just given him the 500,000 he was asking for. That way I couldn't have gone to jail. You misadvised me, Joe.
You didn't level with me. You didn't give me the right facts to be able to put up a good case for you, a good defense.
Oh, I see. Blame it on me now.
I'm sorry.
Joe?